Any second. Oh,
Hey,
we're
we're
live
live.
now.
There
Hey,
we go.
hey everyone! It's
How'd that
V the
happen?
Gorilla coming. Look, this is the new mild mannered V on the Road Crypto Show. We will not. I won't crack any jokes. I will not make fun of them. I will
Huh?
not. I will not make fun of psychics, witch doctors. I will not make fun of those who are into divinations, remote viewers, psychedelically enhanced individuals,
And
This V
and
then
sucks.
why am I listening to this show then? Why I
I'm
don't even
not.
want to be on this
I
show,
know,
let alone
I'm not
listen to
allowed
it.
to have fun. People like it
Who
when.
browbeated you from our team before the show? Did somebody yell at you before we started?
Oh my god!
Definitely,
I was reading the
definitely a
comments
cowboy. Definitely a cowboy.
from the last few shows that we did, and they're just like, "He's gonna get punished by God." Ha 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 ha.
Really? For making fun of the psychics?
Oh my god! People are idiots, bro.
Anyway.
Dude, if and I love the comments. These guys are trying to get you to get into Zen. They're thinking pump it up. Again, idiots who
Pump
are
it
not
up.
in the trade room. So if you're a moron, um, just click off right now.
Yeah, it's
Seriously.
it could nothing could be further from the truth with Ven with what went on with Ven. We educated people on Ven and awesome things are happening.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful things are happening.
I say
Beautiful
we.
things.
I say we, I mean Z.
You know exactly.
I mean
Nah.
our main man Z over here. By the way, Crypto Cowboy sends his love.
Yes,
He had a
He's in the air
personal
right now.
thing he had to do. He's flying. He had something he had to do with his family.
But real quick, guys.
We're gonna introduce our other friend though in a few minutes. We're gonna bring a new
Oh yeah,
friend on today.
we're gonna introduce my longtime partner. No,
Yeah.
business partner, not you know that kind of partner.
Oh, Mahmoud's coming on.
Yes, Mahmoud.
Oh my God, Mahmoud is coming
He's coming on. Well, he
You
was
guys are-
ranting. He was ranting at me before, and I was like,
because you guys have never invited him on.
No. He and I were just having a conversation, and he was ranting about how we're bringing him on to edify. That's old.
Yes.
That's some preacher language.
His real name's not Mahmoud. It's we just call him
Edify.
crypto. His name's Matt, so we'll just call him Matt Factor.
The Matt Factor is coming
Matt
on,
Factor.
and he started ranting about how anybody who thinks cryptos is going away, anybody who gives up on cryptos, gives up on trading cryptos, about how you're just crazy. And he has solid reasons for that because he's just plugged in. He's one of these guys who just knows things that no one else knows, and
Because
it's
he's
not
like
it's not because he heard it on a conspiracy.
Technical researcher. Yeah, dude. You
Yeah,
know what it is.
it's
like
not a
he's one of the most-
conspiracy. It's because he just knows stuff that you don't know for real.
Yeah.
He's in the black and white. He knows it's true.
He's one of the most hardcore researchers that I know. Like
Yeah.
I sent him, like he's my business
brilliant.
partner. For those that know, my buddy Matt, one of the smartest guys I know.
Mhm.
Brilliant. I bust his
Oh,
chops all the
super
time.
smart dude.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bust his chops all the time, but I love him to pieces. He's a brother from
Yeah.
another mother.
Honestly,
Um,
Matt should either be on Wall Street or he should be on like in a tech like.
Oh
very
yeah,
high
I mean he's
position.
from the whole Silicon Valley world, so that's where
Yeah.
he's from.
Yeah, yeah.
He's taken
Fits
many
it.
Silicon
Fits
Valley upstarts from concept to fruition.
Yeah.
He has a mind for technical analysis. He had his Series 7 license at one time, or Series 6. And Matt's a brilliant guy. I mean, Matt is, he's got the chops to go work at BlackRock or Goldman right now. Seriously, he's got the chops,
Oh,
but he's in
absolutely.
it with us because he loves
He
the
wants
freedom.
to. He wants to do more awesome things.
Exactly,
Yeah,
meaningful things.
and quite honestly, guys, that's actually not even surprising because a lot of people from Wall Street are actually leaving Wall Street, leaving these big companies
Yeah.
to, trade cryptos, to get into trading and in this whole world because they see the
Right.
promise behind it, and at the end of the day, they want to do good, in the world.
Absolutely, man. Not everybody that works for Wall Street is a
Yeah,
scumbag.
they see the
There's
corruption.
a lot of good people in Wall Street.
They're just kind of sick of it.
Absolutely. So Matt's going to be coming on in a little bit, and I guess
I'll let you know when he's here. I'll introduce him.
yeah, and he'll break it down. He'll tell you why crypto isn't going nowhere. Okay, these are cycles, and everything has a cycle, and that's why the title that I put for this is "Trade Hard and HODL Fast." That's what it is.
Mhm.
Trade hard and HODL fast. Have both sides of the strategy. Have both
Mhm.
sides of the strategy is what we're trying to educate you folks on doing.
Yeah, listen, we always tell people hodling is not a good strategy, but selling low isn't a good strategy either.
Yeah, it's a far worse strategy.
Right? I mean, waking up in the morning and going, "Oh my goodness, it's going down," and selling everything is not necessarily the most brilliant thing to do. So,
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
am I right,
guys.
Z? You tell me. You're the pro trader. I'm just the operator over here.
Exactly. A lot of guys have over the courses of a few weeks now, guys, I've been seeing a lot of people inside the chat comments essentially state, hey, is this the right time to get out of BTC, or is this the right time to do this and that? And a lot of times, a lot of these people are talking about selling out of a specific coin at the bottom. And guys, unfortunately, the market right now it's rebounding. It's actually rebounding, guys, and we'll get into that in a sec. But a lot of people unfortunately listen to some psychics or whatever you want to call them. We're not gonna make fun of them today.
No, we're not.
And
We can't, because there's some sensitive people that listen to this and they get heartbroken and they
we're
feel
not going
so
to make fun of them,
sensitive.
but unfortunately now they're in a bad position right now where they're essentially going to be selling at the bottom. And we're trying not to sell at the bottom, guys. The way it works, guys, is that obviously you want to sell at the top and buy at the bottom. So right now, for me, I've indicated to a lot of people inside the room that I am in 80% BTC and 20% in USDT right now. In which now, and an opportunity like time like this right now, where everything is at the bottom, I can go ahead and buy people that are panicking their bags. And that's the issue right now. You're getting guys like me who are, I don't want to call myself a shark, but like essentially, I'm a trader, and I like the fact that people are panicking. I like the fact that people are out there going, "Oh my god, I'm down 70% on my bag. I'm going to sell right now. I'll buy it all up. Every single day I'll buy it all up and I'll flip it." And that's exactly what we do. And so for the people that are rogue money watchers, I don't want to screw you guys over, but this is exactly what the trader is thinking about right now. We like the fact that you guys are panicking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just how it is. But what I want to do today, guys, is I kind of just wanted to show you guys just how exactly I approach technical analysis. You guys actually have not seen me do TA. You guys have seen Cowboy do TA, but I think you guys have seen such a long chart with what Cowboy does. You guys haven't seen him create the chart from step one. And so I'm just going to kind of get you guys through how exactly I approach technical analysis and what I see whenever I look at a coin. So we'll just start with BTC, guys. Just briefly covering Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin right now is at 61.67. Currently, you guys see, and we'll review a few things today, but you guys will see these various playing points. So you guys will see these points right here, these points right there, hit right here, and I'll highlight these right now. Just a second. So I'm going to draw circles around each of these key points. And this is all covered inside of the Watch This Trade Room, guys. I'm just going to give you guys kind of a quick scope of how I approach things.
The cryptoschool.io.
Yeah, the cryptoschool.io, exactly. So a link is in the description. So right now, guys, you guys are seeing these three circles that I just drew, or three eclipses, whatever you want to call them. And people are asking me right now, hey, hey Z, like, is Bitcoin going to bounce back up? Like, what's going on with Bitcoin? Is it going to fall through? Is it going to bounce back up? So right now, Bitcoin is currently at what we call in the trading world hard support. These circles indicate like previous historical hard supports in which Bitcoin hit, and Bitcoin has broken either through or has rebounded off of. And this is what you call hard support or hard resistance if you're going upwards. Right now, Bitcoin is on hard support. So what I think is going to happen is I personally think that Bitcoin is going to bounce off right here and it's going to go upwards. And the reason why I'm thinking about this is because as we talk about in our previous shows, and I highly suggest you guys take a look at the previous shows, we talk about something called the battering ram effect. Essentially, I essentially call it the battering ram effect. If a hard support is met too many times, it's gonna battering ram through, and that's exactly what happened with Litecoin. Wow. And we're actually going to show it with Litecoin. That's exactly what happened with Litecoin. We kept telling you guys, the floor is going to go through. The floor is going to go through. It doesn't look good. It's hit the floor too many times. And what happened? It fell through. Bitcoin right now has hit this floor essentially 3 times since November, or 4 times since November. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, like right here. It hasn't hit this floor many times before. So this essentially is the psychological barrier as well as the physical barrier for Bitcoin to bounce off. This is now a very, very strong support. It's not exactly at 61.66. I would essentially say that the hard support is actually probably around 59 to 6K is roughly the hard support. So this is where we're currently at, guys, right now with Bitcoin. And I personally think Bitcoin is going to go up. So what I personally did is I actually opened the long contract. This is what I did, guys. I opened the long contract with Bitcoin rising up because I'm hedging the fact that I think that Bitcoin is going to rise up. So I'm going with Bitcoin, I'm betting with Bitcoin right now. And according to the data, guys, recently, if you actually look at the data in margin calls, in which we talked about last week, or last show, I should say, there's a 54 to 45% split between BTC going long and BTC going short. That means that 54% of the traders out there are hedging that Bitcoin is actually going to rise up, and then 45% of people are saying that Bitcoin is going to continuously go down. And that is what kind of sets the market tone, guys. Is margin trading actually sets the market tone because of the amount of volume that is being moved in and out, and because on sites like BitMEX and Bitfinex, you can actually leverage high amounts. You can actually times 100 your bet. So you're actually talking about very, very large sums of money being pushed up and down. And right now, the overall consensus is that Bitcoin is going to bounce off of this hard support, and people are actually going long with it. Now, from where I see Bitcoin is actually going to go long to, I expect Bitcoin to go long to probably roughly 67, 68 is what I'm going to essentially look to exit Bitcoin into USDT or USD, however you want to flip it. I personally am going to go into USDT, and that's how I'm going to continuously make money in this bear market. And this is something that we cover in depth, guys, inside the Watchers Trade Room. We're not shying away from this bear market. We've only been in the bear market. We've only opened up this room in the bear market because we're here to help people. And if you actually look at Cowboys charts from before in the last show, guys, we've been calling this point for a very long time now. Our first exit point was 9,200, 9,300, and it's now at 6,200. So if you were to just sit out when Cowboy called the exit at 9,300,
if only,
you guys would have made roughly $3,000 on each Bitcoin that you own in hard cash. It's that simple.
See,
guys.
that's where you profit in the bear market. It's knowing how to back out into safety and come back in to scoop up profits.
Exactly, guys.
Your USD value doesn't change, but your bag changes.
You're stacking up BTC, guys. You're stacking up BTC, which is a gain right there. And this is where this right here, the way I'm showing you how I trade, guys, is a little bit more advanced. This is, dealing with margin trading is not something I ever tell or even just entertain people to try. Just that, this is something that, takes some time to learn. It's something that you definitely want to be, on top of it to do this. So yeah, this is a little bit more advanced, guys. So just be careful with that. But once again, remember, guys, none of this is financial advice. This is all education. If I don't say this, Cowboy's like shaking his head right now.
He's on a plane screaming. He can sense
he's on a plane screaming.
He's on a plane thinking someone out there is not saying that this is not financial advice. He's just on the plane. Here's where he's at right now. He's in the back of the plane, being held down by an air marshal and a couple of unfortunate stewardesses. They're holding him down, and he's yelling, "This is not financial advice!" I know. They're like, "Sarah, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "I feel it. Set the time." And they're like throwing water in his face and screaming. They're landing in the local.
It's definitely Frank.
He's like, "Simple Frank. This is not financial advice. Did you threaten the audience again?"
Oh God, exactly. So from here, guys, I'll show you guys another thing which I look at with BTC. So right here, the overall trend with BTC. So right now we're on the daily. We're on the daily chart. The daily chart, whenever you see Cowboy state the daily, this means that he's looking at the 24-hour or 1-day chart. So as you can see right here, guys, I'm at the 1-day chart up top left. Clear as day. Let's draw some trend lines. So these are what you call trend lines, guys. Simple. It's very, very simple. All you're doing is essentially you're hitting the tops of each of these candle points. And this will tell you the overall trend line that you are seeing from BTC's high down to BTC's low right now. So this is the trend line in which we are trying to break in order to get out of this bear market. Before, guys, the trend line was here. I think you guys, if you guys have been tuning in for a while, you guys actually have been following the show. You guys saw that at one point we actually did break out of the trend line, which was actually a very, very bullish move. but unfortunately, Bitcoin has been failing to continue upwards. So right now, we're back to being in a bearish trend line. So this is the current trend line right now, guys, on the daily. Now, what I like to do is I don't like to just take the trend line off the daily, the overall daily. I like to look at it from a shorter perspective too. So shorter perspective is to take another trend line, guys. I'll make this a little more clear. It's take another trend line from a closer point, from a top point that has been more recent down to the current low. And as you can see, this is the current trend line that we have right now, that if BTC breaks out of this, we will now be bullish in roughly, what is that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's another mini trend line
see it.
on the overall trend line, correct. And this is how you determine your resistances, guys. Just to let you guys also know, this is another way to determine your resistances. So you can also take your trend line from here. So as you can see, guys, there's actually two trend lines right here, two sets of resistances to break out of in order for Bitcoin to really be bullish. But the good news is that these trend lines kind of sort of coincide with each other. Do you guys see that right there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now you essentially have one resistance right here, but you also have a second resistance that you have to break out of. And then on top of it, you actually have the Ichimoku cloud, in which you actually have the third resistance to break out of. But that's a whole nother story. But this is a very simple way, guys, to sort of see the overall manner of the market in its current state.
So how do you think it's going to play out?
So what I think is going to happen right now is that right now, this unfortunately is a bearish. Here, I'll highlight this. I just want to try to make it as clear as possible for everybody who's watching. This right here is a bearish pattern.
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Right here. So as you guys can see, Cowboy has before stated this before he showed us. This is actually called a bear flag, guys, where essentially you are getting the flag pulled down. And I'm sorry if you guys can't see this very clearly.
Oh.
My apologies. Bear flag down, another pull down. It shoots upwards, and it seems like yet we're going to have another pull down, which is hopefully it doesn't drop further than this. So let's just say it drops to this, where we talked about hard support being around 6K, and it rises back up. I could see it rising roughly 65 to 66. I talked about 67 being the exit point for me, so it probably is going to be about 66, high 66s, 66.5 is what I'm talking about, and then we shall see whether it's going to flag pull down again. And this is where we talk about with confirmations, where Cowboy states, hey guys, we're actually looking for bullish confirmation or bearish confirmation before we exit or enter a coin, right? This is a confirmation. So what's going to happen is that if this rises up, guys, past this pull, in which essentially this is the bear flag pull, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it rises up above this pull, then technically this bear flag, it doesn't exist anymore. It cancels it out. The bearish pattern cancels out.
Which it doesn't seem like a lot to ask for Bitcoin to go that high.
No, it doesn't. And that's where you have to look at, more than just a TA, but you actually have to look at the SA of the overall market right now. And the overall
so what do you
market,
see, SA?
So the SA right now. So as I stated before with the long and short positions right now on margin trading, the overall SA right now is positive for Bitcoin. It isn't
Nice.
like astronomically positive like you saw like back in January just yet, or sorry, December, but it's still a 54 to 45 like split. So
Very cool.
54% of people are thinking that Bitcoin is going to go long.
Yeah.
Another thing that go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, another thing that you guys can look at also is the correction wave. So we talked about the Elliott wave, right? Cowboy, we don't typically use the Elliott wave too much, guys, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, because crypto is kind of
I know a trader. I know a trader who only uses it.
Oh, Elliott wave? Yeah, yeah.
Don't mind me. Go ahead.
On yet?
Yeah, but
our
this
main
is
man's here. Yeah.
yeah. So this is
So
another.
let's see finish, and then we'll go.
But this is another way to do LE wave. So this is more than just an ABC correction right here. So you got
Mhm.
your ABC right here, but as you can see, it continued
Keeps going.
down.
Yeah.
So this would be an ABCDE correction. So it's a little further correction right here. I know it's shitty.
I don't know why
but,
that makes me laugh.
Yeah, but there is a correction point right here, guys, where it continues going down right here, and then from there, theoretically, from a TA technical analysis standpoint, it should begin. That's when your first impulse wave should start.
This brings us back to where we started the show, talking about how not to lose faith in crypto, and our main man, the Matt Factor, has joined us.
Hey, everybody!
How's it going, man?
Hello, great. Matthew.
It's going great. I'm Mr. Positive today.
Excellent.
People, this man has been pulling strings behind the scenes like you don't even understand. If you're a Rogue Money fan,
the brains behind the operations of the gorilla, well, here it is.
If you're a Rogue Money fan, then you love this guy. You've never even met him before, but believe me, you love him deep down in the cockles of your heart.
Oh,
because
the cockles.
Because this guy has made so many things happen. He's a great guy. So anyway, Matt, you and I were speaking this morning, and you had some very helpful things to say. We were basically saying, I was saying to you that while it's no fun to wake up to a horrible market like this, just by the way, welcome to somebody who just joined our trade room, very smart person. Welcome. While it's no fun being in a market like this, I was saying to you, I believe wholeheartedly that it's here to stay, and that kind of set you off.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about why you believe cryptos are here to stay, and that kind of this hysteria when we're in a market like this, where people just start to feel like, you know what, I think it's over, I think it's done, they're dead. That's very, very short-sighted for very concrete reasons in the economic world.
Yeah, I mean, the performance of Bitcoin right now is only based on a short period of time. So for all of us to think that this compression that's happening within the market is due to something that's out of our control is just basically a biasy. So our behavior to think that when everything starts going down, it's going to continue to do so. But because Bitcoin isn't tied to any specific asset, it doesn't have a stock-like asset performance. It's not based on a network, or it's not based on price to ratio. It has an intrinsic value around the behavior of the way people trade. So actually going back to what Z said, he actually said something really, really smart, which was that 50% of the world right now is thinking sell, 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 while 50% is basically buy, buy, buy. Well, their sell, sell, sell for a long time was probably below 20 or 30% for a long time. That's why the price kept increasing. There were more buyers than seller in the market. So as you look at these bear traps that are happening, they're happening because of the compression that's happening with regulation. So for right now, for anyone to sell, it would be absolutely ludicrous. So you have to look at it.
Or to quit crypto. We've got a lot of cryptos has a I mean, it's a relatively small community, but that small community is made up of a lot of what, if we were talking about stocks, we would call them retail. Retail customers, right? So it's people who are at home trading, right? And those are the people who are those are the people we love and target our stuff to, but they're also the ones who tend to get scared the fastest, right? Because they're dealing with their own hard-earned cash, and many of them don't have money to burn, and they're the ones who will get scared right out of the market.
Yeah, stop trading is more of a personal preference. I don't recommend it. If anything, right now is the time to really bunker down and start doing the research. Right now, if you want to treat Bitcoin like, let's just say, a casino, which most people consider the stock market to be the casino. But if we were to just pretend for a second it was a casino, right now the house is winning. The casino is winning because there's a lot of action that's out of our control. But when the action that starts swinging our way again, which is going to happen in the next, I don't know, maybe say few weeks, that compression is lifted. And if you're prepared with the right knowledge, which our trading room definitely offers you, you'll be set to take the house. And that's when you win. That's when you make the real money, is when you're doubling down at the right point. And so to stop trading, I can't speak for anyone that it's stupid, because that's their personal preference. But I would say this: stick to what you know, stick to what you're part of. All the trading assets that right now Z and the team has prepared you for, those are the important parts that you really have to focus on. So continue to do your research, find out what parameters of the market are compressing the price, and then figure out or forecast based on your own assumptions and the assumptions that we're also providing, what time frame it's going to take it to go up again. And so our research, the stuff that's happening daily within the room, it's based on extremely smart graphs, extremely smart charting. And those things should keep you in the market. It should say, I'm still going to make some money while I'm here, but I'm going to make so much more when the market starts turning in our direction. And so the room is more important now than it ever has been.
Yeah, because that turn is going to come. It's going to be, you know, just like this morning you woke up and things weren't looking so good. You're going to have a couple days where all of a sudden it turns hard, and there's going to be some amazing opportunities at that moment.
Yeah.
And so we've been doing a lot of defensive moves. I mean, there's still great trades happening. Don't get me wrong, people. There's amazing trades still happening, but it's nothing like what it's going to be when we finally do flip the switch and we're in a bull market.
Yeah.
Do you guys Z? Do you have anything you wanted to squeeze out of that factor?
Do we want to talk about?
Well, I promised Matt we wouldn't keep him too long because he's busy doing other awesome things for us right now.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about Litecoin or what?
Before that, I want to just have Matt say this. Hey, Matt, you know, one of the things that you've mentioned that's so profound that a lot of people don't get is when you mentioned that, hey, crypto ain't going nowhere. And you mentioned the fact that, you know, firms like Goldman Sachs have poured tens of billions into this.
Oh, yeah.
Could you expand on that? And plus some of the other players. And
you have a grasp on that better than anybody I've talked to.
I wouldn't say that they put tens of billions, but they've definitely been putting a significant amount of effort behind understanding the market itself. So if you were to break Bitcoin up into many markets and try to treat it like the stock market, you have to think to yourself, if the best of the best in the real world that run the financial system are starting to pour in millions, if not billions of dollars into research, you have to say to yourself, it's not just the blockchain that's going anywhere. Bitcoin is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It may not be traded in a direction that you want right now, but think about it when the institutions start dumping tons of money in it and they actually understand what needs to get done to bring the market up. Now, this isn't just for Bitcoin. These are for other coins and tokens that are happening daily right now. So for anything you're trading, Bitcoin is merely the thing that it'll be tied to. And so let's look at something like in the past. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out maybe an example I can give you, right? So let's just take a stock, right, for example, in Tesla value stocks. Yeah, not Tesla. Let's look just in case of value stocks.
You want to set me off?
Well, yeah, Tesla is no fun to be in right now. But case of value stocks are measured by having basically a lower price book to ratio, right? Which basically means that the low price to book ratio that has converted the period between 1963 and 1990 in the New York Stock Exchange. Amex and the NASDAQ have been divided into stocks of 10 groups by book, market, and we rank them annually. By the way, I'm pulling this from old notes that I wrote. The lowest book market stocks performed the highest, while the market stocks performed 21.5% above the market, and then the other one else. So what am I saying here? I'm saying that you have to be patient. You have to look at the trades in a forecasting manner. And then on top of all that, you have to realize your own risk preference. So staying with the trading room right now to help you guide you through this tough period is exactly what you need. Yeah. If people were to pull their money out from 1963, which is kind of like where we are right now, you would have lost over thousands of % on your money. Now look at the people that pulled out at 2000. Where were they? They'd still be up the money. So the profoundness of Goldman, Chase, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, all these banks that said that they're not in crypto, they're in crypto and they've been in crypto for a long time. Now, what they haven't said is how long they've been in it and why they've been in it for such a long time. And that's where the market needs guys like us to help you with the direction, provide the research and the intel so you could stay abreast. So when the market is in your favor, you're able to take control of it.
Yeah, excellent. Very helpful. It's awesome, man.
Matt Factor in the house, folks. His first inaugural appearance here on Rogue Money.
The whale is coming.
I cannot.
The whale is coming soon.
The whale is coming.
I can't believe this is his first time on Rogue Money.
That's great, man.
It's insane.
I love it.
It's just amazing it took this long.
Yeah, the cherry has now been popped.
Good. Now we can do more appearances with you on the show whenever you get a free time to breathe.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. We'll let you go. I know you're super busy.
Back to the dungeon. You've put me.
Yeah.
Back to the dungeon. Go write code or something.
All right.
Go write code, buddy. All right.
Goodbye, everybody. Love you.
Later.
And everybody, stay true to the market. Stay true to yourself. And most of all, Watch Us Trade Live is coming soon.
Yes, buddy.
Oh,
we're always spilling what's coming up. We can never help ourselves.
I know.
Yeah, Matt's doing some pretty amazing things behind the scenes that it's going to take what is now the crypto school and elevate it to a whole other level. So we're excited about it.
That's the goal. All right.
It's going to be
awesome.
awesome.
All right, everybody.
Thanks, pal.
Thank you for your time.
Later, buddy. Take care.
Okay.
All right, folks. There goes Matt Factor. He is the operational brains behind Rogue Money. He's been working with me for damn near 3 years now. We've been trudging away at this, and all the expanse that we've been and the growth that we've been experiencing is predominantly due to Matt.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
Thank him for that. Z, where do you want to go, man?
Okay,
LTC?
so let's talk real fast about Litecoin, guys.
I love Litecoin.
And just so you know, Caesar, you will be seeing our faces, guys, here soon. Why does
everybody want to see my face for, man?
Everybody wants.
They can tell how attractive we are just by our voices.
Everybody wants to see what we look like, guys. So you guys will see that soon, guys. We will have a team page on Liquid Base. You guys can see us. You can go visit Frank. The whole 9 yards.
There I am.
There it is. There's Frank.
I've got today's a good day. I've got my Merry Christmas.
I'm gonna take my cam off. Right, here we go. I'm taking off my cam. There.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
I can't. Wait, I can't. It's not letting me take off my cam.
Well, anyways.
All right, I'm gonna go away now.
So, okay. All right.
I'm looking at you.
Show us your firearm, Frank.
No, I'm not brandishing. I'm not brandishing on YouTube.
No one's showing anybody's firearm here on YouTube, guys. Good lord.
SWAT team will break in my office.
Let's just talk real fast about Litecoin.
Sorry,
guys.
yes, sorry, Z. Go ahead, buddy.
So Litecoin right now is at $86, guys. I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so.
You did.
I did. It's sucky that I was right. I actually don't want to be right in bear scenarios, guys, unfortunately. But I'm really, really happy, guys, that a lot of us, the majority of us in the room, I would like to say, I think like 95% of the people in the room got out of Litecoin, bit the bullet, got out of Litecoin. As much as it sucked to get out of Litecoin at $135, they got out of Litecoin at $135 when we first opened the room and called it.
Yeah.
And
it took me a while, but I finally bit the bullet.
Finally did it, and here we are, guys. You're
Thank
now.
God.
Do you know that? Coming out $135, guys. Do you know what that means? You guys can almost buy double the amount of Litecoin that you guys could have bought before. That means if you like Litecoin and you want to HODL Litecoin, guys, till whatever happens with Litecoin in the future, guys, just by getting out of Litecoin and buying in, for example, right now, means that you could have technically owned like 75 to 80% more Litecoin. So just think about it that way, guys. If you guys like your Litecoin, hey, look, now you guys can own 80% more of it.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. Not being married to a coin like that and playing what's really happening in the market. That's how you win.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna bother asking Michael Rubber Gloves to come on. I'm not gonna do it.
Don't bother it, man.
A sensitive audience group here.
So we're actually going to take Litecoin and USD value, guys, back to, let's just say, back to essentially November areas, guys. November time. Okay. Litecoin has retraced like more than 80, like 90 percentile now, guys. That's how much it's retraced by now, guys. Essentially, this entire run up and down. That means along the way down, guys, at any moment, if you guys would have sold, you guys would be in profit right now. And this is where I keep talking about fundamentals, guys. The fundamentals in Litecoin at the moment do not make sense, and thus why it's bleeding. Now, remember, this is Litecoin USD value. So a lot of people can argue, be like, oh, no, it's going against, Bitcoin's bringing the entire market down. It's not Litecoin's fault. It's Bitcoin's fault. Well, that's not true as well. So you can actually look at Litecoin's overall performance against Bitcoin's value. So we talk about this, guys, in the fact that I think now a week and a half ago, I stated that Litecoin's value Satoshi wise was 161. And when I say 161, guys, I'm just simply naming the first three numbers in Satoshi value, so I don't have to name this entire number out. So right now it's at 139. So just a week and a half ago, I stated it was at 161. Then it became at 159. Then became 157. Last show we were giggling and laughing that it was at 145 or something like that right now. And right now, guys, it hit 130. It's right now at 139. That means against its value against BTC, it's gone worse and worse and worse, and it's just dropping like rocks.
We hit like 23 soon, right? Not that long ago, right?
Yeah, we hit 23. Correct. It was all. I mean, it hit 20. It hit actually 24.
Because and people have to remember this, Z. We were very positive about Litecoin before it got up there, because you saw that coming too.
Yep.
It's not we're not Litecoin haters. There were good things happening, and Z. I remember Z was saying it's looking really good, and sure enough, it went up to 23. You know, and
we called Litecoin. Litecoin was one of our calls, guys.
Absolutely.
Just to let you guys know, we actually called Litecoin like back here, like along some of these waves up, guys, because they had the Litecoin, sorry, the LitePay FA. You know, some things made sense, which were gonna cause Litecoin to boom up. Unfortunately, it was kind of a flop, which is when I told everybody, hey, look, you know, Ichimoku signaling exit points. You know, this is not looking good. Remember, this is one of the exit points, guys, in which we talked about on the air, actually live. If you actually go back in Rogue Money's show, if you guys can actually see this, I'm not sure. I don't know why it's not being very clear today. If you actually look at that, guys, that's a bearish TK cross right there. We talked about this online.
We did.
We talked about the exact words right there. I told Cowboy as he was charting Litecoin that exact day. I was like, guys, you know, I'm seeing a bearish TK cross, and people were like, no, you know, Litecoin is gonna come out like fundamentally. It looks really, really good and so forth. And
that might be when I got out.
And then it kind of wavered on around this area, guys, at 17, 18, and everybody's like, no, look, it's gonna reverse up right now. It didn't happen, guys, and you know, the data, the technical analysis showed that it was going to go down. We called an exit, and there you go, guys. You know, it's now at 139.
Yeah.
And it, you know,
hey, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I was gonna read off real fast, guys, the next support levels in which I see that are going to happen right now with LTC. So there's actually there's a very, very weak support of LTC. Roughly here. So 131 is the next really weak support. I don't really see this support really doing anything, quite honestly, but it is a support in a sense. But then afterwards, guys, the next support, guys, is down here. Is down at 107. And then the next support afterwards, after that is at 89. And then it keeps going worse and worse and worse. And then the next one is 75. And then after that, guys, you know, you can expect Litecoin to kind of just fade away.
Oh boy.
And then the next support after that is 40. So I'm just letting you guys know that right now it's bleeding out, guys, and we've been saying it from day one. And yeah, I mean, you guys, you know, the proof is in our video content, guys. You guys can just scroll back in our video content and see that, you know, we're not here telling you that the stars are going to align and Litecoin is going to be at $500 right now. It's not.
Yeah, no. Hey, could we take a look at EOS?
Before we do EOS, there's a lot of people in the chat room that are requesting, as an example, to see the horrors of hodling. Just to pull up the PPT chart real quick. Good life lesson here.
I think we got out of that before the room opened.
Yeah, we got out of that before the room opened. But but just to let
I remember that crash started when we were
from my Camaro brother, Camaro 68 SS.
And we actually reiterated on the fact of PPT. On the fact of PPT, like,
jeez,
you know, like before, guys.
You're gonna need a bigger chart.
That chart.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not.
Gonna need a bigger chart. There you go.
Okay. So just so you guys know, PPT's volume right now is like non-existent. There's like no trading going on in PPT right now. The reason why I know this right now is because even when I go into the smaller time frames, you see how these candles are so jagged? That just means that there's just very little volume. Every single little volume is causing a big spike up and a big spike down.
Yeah.
Jesus, horrible.
So right now, guys, just PPT. If you guys want to look at it from a very, very long standpoint, let's see. This is kind of tough. Oh my god.
It's sad.
I'm trying to like scale this out.
I know
right
it's
now.
it's so difficult because it's such a horrible chart.
This is what, guys, we don't want to be a part of. It's just that simple. This is something that this is just death. I mean, I'm just gonna let you guys know this is what you consider death.
What was it? Was it? I think it hit $76 USD.
It hit $76
I think it was an ultimate high.
USD. So at one point, guys, PPT was worth 78K sats.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that Cowboy.
No, it's like not even 2 cents.
Yeah, so I know for a fact that
it's I think it's about $7, right?
How much is that?
Yeah, right now,
That's
right
$7.
now. Here, right now, PPT, guys, is worth $6.59.
There you go.
Didn't it ICO? What did it ICO at? Wasn't it a couple bucks at the ICO? It was. It wasn't like a 10-cent ICO.
So still versus its ICO, no. It was low. It was low.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was low. Here, I'll pull it up.
You got a site for that? I didn't know there was a site for that.
Oh yeah, dude. Come on.
ICO drops.
Try punching in PPT.
There you go.
No. So.
That's weird. It's so low, it's not even registered.
So I mean, I think PPT was like, I think still right now it's still like a 40x when it comes to USD value. So 33 cents, 30 cents right there.
Oh, okay. It was okay. That's so people are still profitable if they ICO'd.
Yeah, people still profitable when they ICO'd, and that's where you see a lot of guys like, once again, like Bix, JSnip, those guys, they're essentially, they're okay with hodling because they got in during ICO, not like everybody else who didn't get exclusive access to the ICO or did not get into the ICO.
Not that they got exclusive.
Yeah, because a lot of people, unfortunately, listening to a lot of advice from a lot of other guys is they were buying here. They were buying the tops.
Yeah.
Averaging down, buying the tops. No, I swear, PPT is gonna keep going up. PPT
$70 is a bargain and stuff like that.
There's a mentality of somebody that does that. What they do is they see the pain, and rather than taking the pain, saying, "Oh my God, this hurts. What can I do differently? What can I learn from this?" There has to be a solution. Rather than finding a solution, what do? They run to echo chambers where people are reaffirming their failed bias.
Oh my goodness.
Their failed viewpoint, their failed outlook. And then they form Facebook groups and forums and crypto forums and YouTube channels where they're literally running to echo chambers. Why? Because there are certain people that are married emotionally. It's like weird. It's like being a sports fan or something like that. They're married to these certain coins as if these coins were like a sporting team. Folks, you can't have a mentality like that. You really can't. And when we call it out for what it is, and this is I mean, we have fun, we poke fun and whatnot, but this is no disrespect for nobody. At the end of the day, it's just like, we just want people to wake the hell up. That's the whole thing. It's like, look, there's certain people that we clown around with, right? But believe you me, behind the scenes, we have reached out to certain set of individuals and be like, here's the deal, man. What are you doing? You're going down in flames. Your trade room is gone. It's like it's deteriorating. If you want, we can help you. We can help you. We can get you out of there. No. And our clowning is basically in a manly kind of way saying, hey, here's some cold, hard reality. Here's some cold water on your face. What are you doing? And it's immoral. In my book, it is immoral for anyone to take money from people and then instead of winning through hard work, diligence, analysis, and intellect, using cheap parlor tricks in order to keep the people together. That is immoral. It is wrong on every single level, whether the person is doing it intentionally or unintentionally. At the end of the day, the action is immoral. I, for one, whether you love me or hate me, you can't stand me because I have an attitude or whatnot.
I love you.
I love you too, Frank.
You, for one, what? Sorry.
Yeah, I, for one, I for one could not go to sleep. Z couldn't go to sleep. Frank couldn't go to sleep. Cowboy couldn't go to sleep. None of us could go to sleep doing such things like that. Dude, I'll tell you guys right now, all four of us will tell you straight up, if it becomes impossible to trade, and let's just say I don't know, one day Z and Cowboy decided to drink an entire gallon of fluoride, and they lost all their mental faculties, and they can't do any more trading. They've gone fully retarded. And do you think for once Frank and I would have this trading room open? No, we would shut this thing down. We would let you know, and we would refund people. Like, okay, no, we can't do this. We can't continue on because it's impossible. Because Z and Cowboy, they've gone full retard. They drank a whole gallon of fluoride together, and their brains not
full retard.
You never go full retard. So that's the whole entire thing, folks. It's when something is failing, look for intellectual, logical solutions that make sense, not stuff that makes you feel good and fuzzy. And look, there's no mysticism behind this. Okay, let me tell you that straight up. Okay, this has been done in Wall Street. This has been done in every single stock exchange in the world. They've actually, they've actually had, psychics and this, that, and the other go up against actual traders, and guess who wins every single time? Traders, real traders, always win. No matter what. Okay. So this is not what I'm trying to tell you is this. Okay. And here's the problem here. A lot of people that are in finance, or this is partially the fault of Wall Street, they give the air of, you cannot understand this unless you are part of the initiate. You don't need to be like an initiate. This is not some voodoo. This is not like some mystical art here. What Z and Cowboy show you week in and week out is hard technical data that are based on mathematical metrics. What is measured, folks, and this applies to everything in your life, what is measured gets managed. Do you get it? What is measured gets managed. And if you're not following and getting the technical analysis, the fundamental analysis, the sentimental analysis, and understanding that every single one of those things plays off of not voodoo, not mysticism, but mathematics, then you're able to shift your thinking and make the correct logical choices. That's all I got to say.
Yep. No, it's correct. And guys, just real fast, where PPT is currently at right now, guys, PPT essentially has gone back to where it was when it was first listed on the exchange, on Binance. So Binance, it listed on Binance in roughly December-ish, and it started off at that price and it exploded up, and now it has gone all the way back down to Binance levels. And if it doesn't continue, if it doesn't actually pick up at all, FA wise, and Nico, learns to grow up a little bit, then unfortunately it's going to keep dropping, guys.
What?
And
you're talking about someone in the chat room?
Nico, like Steve Nico or whatever his name is. Nico Williams, whatever his name is. But yeah, guys, I understand Bat. I think there's a guy in Bat in the live chat, guys. He indicated that PBT is great. Once invoice factoring really comes down, that it's gonna moon. Now you have to understand, guys, there are other players out there that are gonna be gunning for the invoice factoring space. I understand that PBT has its first mover advantage, but the problem is that they don't have a solid working team as well as product. Another better person is going to take over. It's just that simple, guys. The same thing with MySpace and Facebook and all these other things, guys. If you don't adapt, you're just going to get run over. And I can tell you right now that PayPal, as soon as they get regulatory approval, they will absolutely mow through Populous. It's not even close.
And again, we don't want to see PPT fail, but where I hate to say this, but I'm just going to point out something I think we're all thinking. Where does this firm belief that PPT is going to moon come from? It comes from old Cliff High reports.
Correct.
Okay. And you guys know we interviewed him. We love him. We love Cliff High. Okay. But is that enough for you to stake your future on? Is it enough? When the operation of the company itself, the fundamental analysis of the chart, when all of that isn't lining up.
Metal looks terrible as well.
Let's do a couple more and then wrap it up for today.
I can just fire these out and just tell you guys whether they look good or not. So Metal, guys, just looks terrible right now. You guys want to take a look at EOS real fast? I know EOS is a favorite. EOS right now on the BTC value, it doesn't look the best, but it doesn't look as bad. So if you actually look from a pattern standpoint, and you actually take EOS. Cowboy hates when I do this. Because I don't line up the
yeah, he's so careful about those.
yeah, I don't line him up. He's shaking. He's like, check frame compliance.
They're still holding him down at the back of the plane.
Yeah. So right now, EOS right now, guys, is currently at hard support right now. This is its hard support floor. So remember we talked about hard support being connection points in which it was able to bounce off in the past. So right here, as you can see, EOS roughly right here, which is about 14.2, 14.18. It bounced off and it rose up. That's one support right there. And then right here, it's currently at that support again. So there's a good chance that EOS, what I think EOS will do, and EOS is kind of playing with BTC at the moment, but I think EOS is essentially going to rise up and it's going to play within this channel a little bit. I could see EOS. It's up there. Then you got an arrow coming down here. And then you've got another arrow. Cowboy does these a lot prettier than me, guys. So I apologize. And I think that with this, it's actually going to break through. And the reason why I think this is going to break through is one, EOS actually has a few things coming up for it, guys. It has its mainnet sort of ramping up right now. I know that it was kind of a slow start and there was kind of some FUD and drama around it with security and so forth, but they're starting to play out a little bit. I think that voting will be finalized here relatively soon. Remember, this is the 3-hour chart, guys. So this is playing out all the way into July right now, mid-July essentially. So I think that EOS will ramp back up. But overall, its chart does not look that bad, guys, on the long.
Very helpful.
Yeah, you talk about PBT token price, money appreciation. You are correct. Business model is something else. Flipping the coin. Okay, talking about BNB. Is now a good time to buy BNB. Maxwell, what's it called? We talked about BNB before at 16K sats, guys. 14K sats was when the FA call was called by me. And then 16K sats was when the TA was called by Cowboy. So, you're talking about some good points right here. This is roughly a month ago. So I actually called essentially right here, actually. I called BNB. Cowboy called it roughly right here as it was playing through its pattern, and right now it's rising up. I personally would not be chasing BNB. Personally, I wouldn't be chasing BNB. I know it just got listed on Change Jelly recently as a pairing, but that isn't enough for it to really go up. Remember, guys, that BNB goes up and down in its value based on I guess trading volume in the exchange. Right now, with this last little crazy bit with BTC being very, very volatile and people like panic and selling and whatnot, people are using the BNB token, which is why it's causing BNB to spike up in value. If you guys haven't gone into BNB already, I would not suggest you get into BNB. And this is just my opinion. Like, I wouldn't get into BNB, I should say. I have to say that now because Cowboy's, like I said, he's rolling in his grave right now.
Wait, Cowboy died?
No. Sorry. He's rolling in his airplane seat right now.
Don't say that.
My bad.
Cowboy is alive and well.
Jeez, he's alive and well. He's alive and well.
Flying over California somewhere.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You're so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what about one we haven't talked about in a while? This is another one that people are very, very emotionally attached to, and I think is a cool company, but we don't hear much about is OMG.
OMG. All right, let's take a look at OMG.
Have you heard? What about the essay on OMG essay?
So the essay on OMG is good. is good because OMG's kind of special, because OMG kind of bridges the gap between this whole sort of metals crowd with Cliff High and Bix and all those guys, and like this other like you guys, this other like sort of, no offense to you guys, but you guys are like the older crowd, the more mature crowd.
How dare you?
I'm just letting you guys know this is what I think. As a younger trader, you guys are like kind of the older crowd, the more conservative crowd, and then you also have the mainstream crowd, which is the guys, the kids that are getting into trading, are heavily invested in trading.
You're almost 30.
I know. But I'm still considered a quote unquote millennial, right? No matter how much I
the present company we can't deny exempted. You're fine. We don't count you a millennial. Luckily, you're smart.
We've got underwear older than you.
You're not U.S. born and U.S. raised, so that saves you from the millennial stupidity.
but yeah. So anyways, you guys have this split, right? Where OMG kind of bridges that gap, which is pretty cool because OMG has Vitalik as OMG has Vitalik as an advisor, and Vitalik is very, very in depth. Like he actually is a key point into OMG's team, and so I think OMG, the overall essay for OMG is not that bad, guys. It's really not that bad. However, OMG is struggling to release content. Now this year, Q4 actually is supposed to be a very, very big quarter for OMG, for Omise, I should say. And it should play out into OMG because OMG is just Omise Go, its mobile platform. So Q4, guys, for OMG is a very, very big point. So do not sleep on that. I highly suggest you guys take a look at OMG's roadmap and just look at what they have coming on in Q4.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Yep. LBC library credits. Hard pass, guys, on that junk. Encash is very, very interesting. You guys keep hearing me talk about Encash. Don't sleep on Encash, guys. Encash is one coin that, even though right now it's not doing too hot, it has a lot of strong SA as well as a lot of strong money behind it, and its fundamentals really do play out. I honestly fully think that Encash will be one of those coins where it will play out like a Tron, it will play out like a Verge, it will play out like a Stellar Lumens. Like all of a sudden one day, like you'll look at it and it'll be like 2,000 satoshis, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, wow, I had the chance of getting it at 200 satoshis, and it's just like it did a 10x, and then people are going to be asking me, is it still time to get in? I'm just going to be like, well, I don't know. We called it way early. So Encash is never bad to buy, guys. I personally averaged in a little bit of Encash at this low rate. And I really think it's going to do well in the future, guys. Encash is a very, very strong team, very, very strong investors behind it. Just tuned in. What is the expectation for the market next month? The expectation for the market right now is, as Cowboy stated before, the big players are apparently range bounding this. Now Matt indicated that the futures are going to they're going to expire and it's supposed to run back up. I'm not sure what Matt said in regards to date, guys. I apologize for that, but
in a few weeks.
A few weeks, okay, yeah. So apparently the futures in a few weeks are supposed to expire, and that's supposed to cause another ramp up in BTC. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not sitting right here saying that BTC is going to be 20K next month. I highly doubt it's going to be 20K next month. But I fully expect BTC at least to rise up.
Yeah, I see it rising back to like 8,000-9,000.
Exactly, I see it rising back up to 8,000 to 9,000, guys. Hopefully that's a good sign. But yeah, don't believe anybody that says that BTC is going to be 50K next month, guys. Yeah. Be careful with those guys. I keep telling people that. And
Absolutely.
BTC's dominance is rising up once again, guys. It's back to 40.7% right now. Personally, I would like to see this a lot lower, but so right now what that means is that majority of the market is in BTC, guys. 40% of it is in BTC, which shows that why the overall market is bleeding as BTC rises up and down.
Yep, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Guys, good stuff today, man. A lot of good analysis. Great show. Folks, thank you all for listening in. Again, go to thecryptoschool.io. The link is in the description box. thecryptoschool.io. Check it out and learn how to watch us trade. Learn how to trade. Get your crash course on cryptos. Everything you need to succeed. Thecryptoschool.io. And also, if you are either in the school or you're not in the school or you're out there, you're listening in and you want to learn how to cash out of your crypto, you not learn. You actually want to cash out of cryptos without worrying about a taxable event happening. Well, we have that for you. We have the platform. It's live. It's liquidbase.io. You go check it out. Links in the description box. Liquidbase.io. Go there, fill up the KYC form. The KYC form is not basically for reporting. What it is, we do it's a background check to make sure that you're not an international terrorist.
It's a great point, man. We talk about privacy and people go, oh my goodness, we're filling out this, giving all these details. That's for background checks. So we make sure that you're not
a money launderer, a drug dealer, a terrorist, or anything criminal. Okay, this is what our LBMA partners require.
Exactly.
They don't pass that information to anybody else, to any jurisdictional authority. That is strictly with any sort of criminal database. That's it. Okay, so your information and everything is safe, absolutely safe. It's all encrypted. The forms are encrypted, so you don't have to worry about hacking, none of that stuff. It's pretty brilliant and awesome. Once you sign up and you're ready to move, you got more than $5,000 in Bitcoin. Well, we don't care if you have 5,000 or you have 50 million or 5 billion. It doesn't matter to us. We can liquidate you, and we liquidate.
We're not making those numbers up.
No, we're really not. But if you know the type of volume we're dealing with right now with some of the big players, it will make your eyes water. It literally will. We're talking about people north of 100,000 Bitcoins. Okay, crazy north, stuff. Way north. I mean, 7, 8-figure Bitcoin. It's crazy. It's crazy. Those are the types of people that we're dealing with. They're coming to us to do business with us, and we're going to be a big part of what's happening in Bitcoin, and we're a big part of what's happening in cryptocurrencies. That's why we know it ain't going nowhere. There's too much money in
too much infrastructure is being played.
It's not going anywhere. And
ain't going nowhere. So we just need you to stop going to the BS guys that are out there and just come with the real with us real guys and learn a trade and make some money. It's free money for you. We're also going to be setting up crypto payment solutions so you can pay us in crypto.
Yeah, we're getting closer. We've been saying it, but we're actually making great progress with our main.
Oh yeah, last thing. I'm sorry guys to cut you guys off just real fast. Yeah. I forgot there was some big news for cryptocurrencies.
Oh, okay.
Realize it was big news from South Korea, and I'm actually gonna. Here,
yeah, do it, man. Oh yeah. We've got to share this news.
I'm gonna share the Slack room real fast, guys, and just kind of show you guys what we provide inside the room, so you guys can see it's really just no BS. We're always inside there. First off, we're like inside there like 16 hours a day, so it's kind of stupid. We just love it. We just love talking with you guys. But so a huge news for South Korea. They essentially have stated that there are going to be much less taxes involved with cryptocurrencies in South Korea. Now, before, a lot of the news about South Korea was that a lot of people were hesitant about getting into cryptocurrencies because the tax rate was so sporadic. People didn't know exactly what the tax rates were like. It was kind of going to be like the US. Korea was going to ban cryptocurrencies, this and that. Essentially, the government in Korea has put its foot down. It said that, they will apply a 10 to 15% tax on cryptocurrencies as interest income tax. And it's just that's it, guys. That's it. So this makes everybody feel warm and fuzzy in Korea, and yeah, what's it called? You should start seeing some nice volume coming from the Korean side here soon as more and more of this gets implemented.
That's great. What great news.
That's great, and especially great for Liquidbase, because the way we liquidate cryptos was we use the power of LBMA gold, and the reason for that is we were able to take the bitcoins, or whatever crypto you got. We converted to LBMA certified gold, which is the most highly liquid gold. When we liquidate the gold, there's no taxable anything. And when we wire it into your bank account, depending on which jurisdictional authority that you live in, it's either zero taxes or you pay capital gains, which is a joke. If you report it, it's reported as capital gains, which is what, 15%, which is a far cry from the 39.6% tax of what would happen if you try to bring in what you have offshore and all sorts of nefarious reporting and things that you got to on all the documentation you got to come up with. So that's scary. With us, there's no fear. Everything's relieved. It's easy peasy. We get it done for you. So check it out, liquidbase.io and the cryptoschool.io. Check it out. With that being said, we're over now, folks.